Do we want to take time to brew these potions then? Do we have the time for that?
Sure. Just
We
means
should.
you'll embark on whatever you're going to do more at like 10 o'clock. I'm assuming you go over to Hackett as soon as you can wake her up in the morning.
That's right.
So,
She's used to me making early morning demands, so.
I think Brother James is going to try to get us a discount on a bulk of holy water,
Oh, that would be good.
like by the gallon.
Brother James
my
already
goodness.
has 2 vials of holy water. But
Sadly, that's one way that the church makes money.
Well, we got money. We got money.
So even to its priests, it charges you 25 gold pieces for a vial of holy water.
I'm going to give him 50 when he goes to pick it up, so I can get 2.
Okay.
And I don't know if anybody else wants some, but I don't like the idea of going into the
hey,
non-workers part of the tomb and not being ready.
any
Agner will take two.
Wow.
Not 4, but just two.
You guys are going to be ready if you run into some nasty something that needs holy water.
Yeah, no thank you, Badger. It just tastes like water to me. I'm not a fan.
anyone want to buy a condolence?
No.
We sell those cheap.
I'll buy a grievance.
I was wondering if I could buy some tar pitch or maybe some pine pitch from the city guards, maybe some of the archers. And I don't know if these fellas have any flaming arrows that they ever use to defend the city, but maybe get a little bag of pine pitch.
Sure. You want a bag that you can kind of prepare some of your regular arrows as flaming arrows? Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Just how many? You have a bag and it's got enough to prepare 25 arrows.
Okay.
And they just give it to you, Badger.
Oh.
And they say, we've heard stories about your party, the Black Pilgrims Adventuring Group, saved Wallace.
Warren.
Or Warren. Saved
We
Warren.
can do that.
And so, if we can help you in any way, we will.
Bless your pea-picking heart. I appreciate that.
Don't get
We're
too
the
friendly.
Black Pilgrims. I guess. That's our group name now.
That's right.
Yep. Somebody's Gorak or somebody was fielding that, and everybody seemed to like that. So Black Pilgrims.
Yeah. By the way, I was going to ask. Right. How much would some actual thieves' tools cost? Because I kind of want some iron spikes and a throwing hammer.
Well, the iron spikes, you just buy on their own. You can buy, I think, 12 spikes for a gold.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
Okay, that runs about 140 gold. I've got
12 iron spikes.
yes, 12.
And do I understand that you can cast a spell where you create a disc that floats along with you?
What spells?
I,
I mean,
no.
Say no more.
I have contacts
Contacts? Okay.
who could lend me.
Okay, so you know people who can cast spells. Though.
Yes, I know people who could lend me a similar style scroll
Oh,
from which I could read
okay.
to cast a spell.
Well, maybe you could acquire one of those. Because I'm expecting we're going to be getting a lot of treasure. And we'll need someone to carry it. And God knows I'm not going to do it.
Witherspoon's got a mule.
So Arnold,
yeah.
a hammer for pounding in just the spikes, basically. It's like a carpenter's hammer. That costs 2 gold.
What about a throwing hammer?
Well, you're a wizard, so you're not proficient in it. Now, you can try to throw a throwing hammer, but you're going to have major minuses on your attack roll.
Okay, because I wanted something at least that might be able to do something aside from my spells.
You have a crossbow and daggers.
I was just thinking against stone and iron. That wouldn't be as effective.
Okay.
Because they are all stabby, stabby, stabs.
That's true.
What do you want? If you want, you can carry a warhammer with you. That costs 5 gold. And just remember, you're going to be not very good with it at all.
Okay, actually, I'll just take the carpenter's hammer.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 gold, right?
So
Yep.
I'm at 138.
And if you want to buy a real set of thieves' tools, that costs 25 gold pieces.
I think I'm fine with my fake thieves tools.
Okay. Do you want to buy a crowbar so you can crowbar your way into stuff?
Definitely.
Okay. That is 10 gold, but that will help you do things like force open doors and force open things that you can't normally with your regular strength.
Like the prying hands of a dwarf on a sack of gold.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
Might not work for that anyway, though.
Yeah.
Or yeah,
Yeah.
that's saying the expectation's too high. Well, I guess the other thing is I'd like to hire a torchbearer again.
Okay.
Brother James could do that. It's
After-
like one of his 2 jobs.
Hmm?
Brother James would be willing to do it for free. I mean, it's the second thing he gets to do.
Oh, I just like to have a.
This
You know-
place is pretty dangerous for torchbearers. I don't know. It's
I don't know. I mean, like, what are the odds of it happening twice?
Well, do you want
50,
to
50-50.
do you want to hire Mac?
Sure, actually.
Yep, Mac the Wildling is available as an NPC. And
Yes.
he's a hireling. Now,
Well,
Mac,
and we actually talked about the symbol of the red rat, right?
right?
And he made the introduction to the Thieves Guild. So it might be good to get a little more time with him anyway. Because I still want to talk to Boar, the contact at the Thieves Guild. So I'll offer it to Mac.
Okay. So Mac, like most of the NPC hirelings that are actual characters, like levels and stuff, he's going to be 10 gold pieces up front, and he wants a half a share of the treasure. And he will drain the party experience points by 1 full member's worth. So instead of 6 heroes, it'll be divided by 7. He'll get some of the experience points.
Maybe we just want to hire like.
Maybe we need something more expendable than that, Ed.
Does this still count if he survives to the end, or
But he is a thief.
I can be a good
So will he
torchbearer.
survive to the end? That's the question. You want to just hire a flunky?
Yeah,
yeah. We may not want to let the Thieves Guild know about this tomb.
that's a good point. Yes, very good point,
Oh,
Badger.
hey, good job, Badger. That's very smart.
That is very wise.
Okay.
Why
We may
did
not let the king know about this tomb either, because it's like the king's grandpappy, and he might not be happy that we're all down there poking around in his ancestors' ashes.
All right, maybe we should forget it then, because I think until we've finished exploring this, I think we should keep the location of it to ourselves. You make a very good point, Badger. Your shrewd country wisdom is prevailed.
Brother James would? Well, I would like to say that I didn't even tell Father whatever his name was about this. So I think that's pretty serious.
I think.
And I think that you didn't tell him whatever it was because you didn't know his name.
No, his name is whatever it was.
It would have been very awkward.
He's the guy with the big hat and all the jewelry.
Mhm.
Father Bill, Father Steve. Okay, excellent.
All right,
Well,
onward, my friends.
well, guys.
Let's take a circuitous route so no one follows us. And we'll take it by the, where is this located anyway, relative to the?
To the left of the Giant Crown Inn, to the west of it, to the northwest of it, in the woods.
Is it?
That's down. If you take the road that goes around Bulgrad, instead of going towards Langercliff to the south, if you go north towards the main road, you have to travel like part of the day, like 3 or 4 hours, well, 2 or 3 hours, and then you'll meet the main road. And the Giant Crown Inn is right there where the main road intersects with the road that goes up to Bulgrad.
Wait, have we left?
Is it convenient to go out through the break in the wall?
Oh yeah, you could do that.
Because I want to collect some more black elm bark.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I have a question. Have we left right now, or are we still at the place?
You're still in town. You haven't.
I
left
need
yet.
to buy a bucket.
Okay. You can buy a wooden bucket for a silver piece.
Nice. Now we have something to move the sand.
There you go.
Good idea. Do we need a shovel too?
Now we can just fill it up with a bucket.
All right.
It falls from above.
Ah, good to know. So anyway, I'm going to try and collect some elm's bark, black elm bark on our way.
Okay.
Take a few minutes to do that.
All right. So you go through the hole in the wall, and Bill and Warren are there, and they wave to you and wish you luck on your adventures.
Mhm.
And you go out to where the river or the creek runs out of the cave in the wall. You got a little bug flying around there.
We do.
You follow that little creek down the hill, the side of the hill, and then there's that barrow, kind of overgrown amidst some trees.
Yep.
And
Are we sure it's worth this?
well, it's day. It's like 11 o'clock by the time you get down there, and there's this old gnarled, spooky-looking tree growing out of the top of the barrow, the black elm tree. Now, Badger, you're down there, and you notice that in the ground that there's been a lot of movement around through here.
Yay!
Can I tell if it's booted tracks or maybe clawed tracks or can I
There are
differentiate?
hobnailed booted tracks.
Mhm.
Orcs.
Oh no.
Boys, there's been something going on around here.
This is the place where the Wraith King lives. This is where his body is. I think we should just pay that woman whatever she wants for that Black Elm stuff.
This is no mine. It's
She's
a
all out.
room.
Do you want to climb up on top of the rubble? And,
Yeah, I'll take a look. I'll take a look around.
Okay. Make your tracking roll there, Badger.
All
You're
right.
gonna have to make your normal roll because they've gone
All right.
through a little effort to mess with their tracks.
That is just a 20%. We'll go with red first.
While he's doing that, Ed, I'm going to try and quickly collect the bark. The idea that there's orcs around makes me a bit anxious.
I can't really tell what's going on around here, but there's something going on.
The orcs aren't the bad part, laddie. It's
Okay.
the creepy crawler that lives inside.
How much bark do you want to get?
I 5 minutes of collecting worth.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause you don't want to kill the tree.
At first it's pretty hard to kind of cut through this bark, and then eventually as you penetrate it with your dagger, there's a cracking noise, and there's this almost bloody fluid kind of comes out from the tree, and you pull away this big piece of bark, and so you have a 5 gatherings worth of black elm bark with that one big piece.
Okay.
And then below you in the mound, you hear something move or stir.
Agnar, you're completely superstitious, and I run.
Hmm?
Foolish
Brother-
superstitions. Ah!
All
I
right.
told you not to do it. I told you not to do it.
Just run!
Brother James will say, "From what?" But he's not running.
Agnar is running after the thief.
Half the party
Nobleman, please.
runs for it, and after a while, nothing comes out.
That's when Brother James says, "Oh, now it's creepy. I think it went after them. We should warn them."
Okay.
And then he'll run.
So you guys leave the barrow behind, and you kind of
Yeah.
follow the edge of the hill around to where it meets the road. And you follow the road downhill for a couple of hours. As you're going down the hill, Badger, there's little copses of trees here and there on the side of the Cunning Tor, because it's kind of a long ways to walk down this long sloping road. And in some of the trees, you spot that there's that centaur girl watching you guys from the trees, just not trying to gain your attention or anything, but kind of back in the shadows of the trees.
Did we deliver that letter?
If Brother James notices, he's gonna wave.
No, only Badger notices.
Oh.
Okay.
All right,
I'll let her know that I see her, but I'm not gonna try to get her attention.
okay. All right, so you get to the bottom of the trail to the main road, and there's the Giant Crown Inn. Do you stop in with the innkeep, or you just go right over to the trees, to the forest where the tomb is?
I mean, for once, my knees aren't tired. I'm riding my donkey, Titan. He's like a wiry old donkey.
Well, Alex, I've been walking further than I have in I think my entire life. So I think we should stop in for a quick snack and a glass of wine.
Okay.
Witherspoon,
What?
I'll buy you lunch, old man.
What?
Exactly.
Exactly.
This is what happens when you adventure with a bunch of humans.
I know, right?
They're not in trouble. All right. Ulf's wife, Snow, is there, and she welcomes you. As usual, the inn is empty.
Man, what if she sponsored us and we could do some advertising?
What's her name? I'm sorry.
I think what we should do is get 4 more dwarves so we could be Snow Wife and the 7 dwarves.
I just hang myself on the spot.
Her actual name is Snowfrieder, but
Snow?
but she goes by Snow.
Okay. And this is the Crown Inn.
The Giant's Crown Inn.
Giant's Crown Inn. All right.
Mm-hmm. Just a small way stop.
All right. I'll buy my friend's lunch.
Okay. She makes you guys some roast boar. And do you want to have mead or ale or hard cider with that?
No drinking on the job, boys. No drinking on the job. This is dangerous.
Only drinking on the job, actually. That's what my friends used to say. Well, not friends, old employers.
Do they have wine?
No, let's see. Yes. They have an imported bottle of Duchy of Rorgan red wine.
Well, that's where I'm from.
Wow. You're shocked. There's one bottle of it that she has.
I'll buy
Where
it.
am I from?
I'll buy it. Hey, my friends, you're in for a treat, and I'll pour a glass for my friends.
18th century London. That's where you're from, old man Witherspoon.
I think you're from
Great.
the Kingdom of Daria, probably.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to have to look at the map.
So it's all right. That's where you guys were originally from. Your original characters were from.
Okay, yeah, probably there.
Brother James will legitimately, he'll say, do you have any milk?
No. I don't have a
Huh.
cow.
You have a goat?
No, I don't have a goat.
I'll take
It's a gold piece for the bottle of wine there, Steve.
Yep, I'm marking it off as we speak.
Go ahead, Sebastian.
Brother James will let loose the fact that he's probably only taken like 1 drink of alcohol in his life, and that was for religious purposes.
All right. And the entire meal, if you buy everybody meal and drinks, it's going to be a 1 gold and 5 silver.
All right, I will do that, because that is the kind of generous soul that the Baron is.
Very nice of you, Baron. Appreciate it.
Well, if you can't treat your friends, what is money?
This may be our last supper. We might as well make it a good one.
I'll make sure to heal you first.
So while you guys are sitting there, excuse me, I have this in here.
So yes, this is a wine that I think you'll appreciate. Just you could taste the terroir in the mouthfeel, and the nose is reminiscent of the beautiful sun-baked hills of.
I just drink it.
Oregon.
I wonder what I did with that. I had a
Nice thing about wine is after the third glass, it all tastes the same.
That's right.
Break out my dwarven mugs, fill them up.
I'll just refill my wineskin, which at this mate is an amalgamation of different types of alcohol.
Oh, the table you're sitting at has been carved. Like somebody who sat there over a period of time has just out of boredom carved into it. And that's what the top of the table looks like.
Ah.
Wait,
And let's see, the crown is this place at the crossroads, I assume.
Yep.
And let's see, is the tomb on this map that I can see? I'm not sure what.
I think it's there.
There is an area to the northwest with some trees where he's got a bow and arrow where maybe he goes hunting. That would be in the general spot.
All right, interesting. I'll copy this down on one of my pieces of paper.
Okay.
This map.
Brother James looks amazed as he thinks you are writing.
The Baron has excellent penmanship.
Cool. Did you ask about the carving on the table?
I do.
Well, you already kind of figured that out, but she says, oh yeah, when Ulf would come home, he would sit by the fire and carve into the table. I guess it was to remind himself of different places where he thought the hunting was good or had seen different things.
Can you maybe send a copy of that at some point, Ed? I'd love to study it in more detail at some point.
Sure.
All right. It's interesting. And has there been any other travelers through here lately, Snow?
Oh, there was a group of sworn men that came through, which isn't that unusual, but they weren't Ostvic. They weren't from the kingdom of Ostvic. I'm pretty sure that they were from Hrader to the west.
uh-oh. That's not good.
But they didn't cause any trouble.
No, and I didn't ask them what they were doing here.
Yeah,
Now,
excellent.
it's not against the law for them to come through our lands right now. We're not like openly at war, but we did fight last year.
Interesting. Yes, that's true.
With your husband gone, are you afraid of being at this inn all by yourself, all by your lonesome?
Sometimes.
Perhaps we could find a couple of young, able-bodied men who might be willing to come help you run this place.
Oh, that would be wonderful. She says, I could use a hand.
All right, we'll keep an eye out.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes, good idea, Badger.
That's
Yeah, priests
one
of the
day.
Everflame are always ready to lend a helping hand.
The only other people besides your group that has been through here in the last while is that half-orc and his companion that met with that druid.
Oh yeah, we were chasing them, weren't we?
That was about 2 weeks ago. Maybe longer now.
Well,
I
maybe
remember-
they saw what was on this table too, and were looking for maybe a defensible place to hold up. Anything look pretty defensible, Baron, on that map?
Let me see.
Maybe the fort's on the map if I remember.
I would say so, like probably in the nook for the rivers, because that's only one way to come at you if you're finding a good place to hide.
Well, let's see. What's that straight above? Is that like a little lake or something? What's up there?
Yeah, there's a little lake up there.
And what's that by the lake? It looks like there's some kind of little house or something.
Yeah, it's like an old hunting lodge.
What about an old hunting lodge? That seems like a natural place to hole up. You got food, you got water, you've got shelter.
What's that? It looks like the
Unlikely that
arrow.
anybody's going to come through there.
What's
And
that?
good hunting grounds nearby.
Yep.
trees on it.
What was that, Arnold?
This is the lake.
Up top. It
Oh,
looks
that's
like
the barrow right there
barrow.
on top, right?
I thought that was the barrow.
Oh, yeah. What's that
Up
lump
here?
up the top? Yeah.
And she says, "Oh, that's the old henge.
Ooh.
Ah, Stonehenge.
That's
Haunted, I presume.
Where the spirits
the,
dwell.
the father of
These. Oh,
the
sorry.
the father of King Gudbrand sent his sworn men up there years ago and pulled most of it down.
I think we should go to the hunting lodge, my friends. I've got a feeling that we're going to find something there. Probably
Yes.
trouble.
Or the remains of something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find
Why don't we
that.
do that on our way? It looks like it's not far. It's what, maybe hour's hike or something? Ed?
Yeah.
It'll be good. It'll be good for you, Arnold. Put some meat on your bones, says this scrawny baron.
Yes, that's what you appraisingly.
Mm-hmm. You could be like this.
Or like this, I say, flexing my one arm. You can tell the armor's too big for me.
Okay.
All right. Well, I suspect, yeah. You probably still could beat either of us in an arm wrestling match, Witherspoon.
Yes, when Arnold flexes, it's literally negative space.
It's hard, you can't even tell he's flexing.
Yes.
Same for brother James.
Okay.
Not
Yes,
he's not very coordinated either.
that's good. He's a wise man, I'm sure.
You leave the inn and you head pretty much straight north, just kind of leaving the
Yep.
road in that area, going overland. And you're
Yep.
going through areas of meadow and fields.
I'm keeping
And
my eyes open. I'm afraid that we might be ambushed. So I'm keeping an eye to any place where somebody could hide. And then when we get to the place where we can see this hunting cabin, we're going to all hunker down and observe it for a moment before we approach.
Okay. You
This is like hunting foxes, my friend, or pheasant. Just follow me. I used to do this in my youth.
On
You
horseback.
did, I thought you did that, yeah, on horses.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on a donkey, and I'm not getting off.
All right. I get ready to pull Witherspoon off his donkey when the time comes. I'll just cut the straps on his saddle.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. So you're traveling along. You go the first 2 miles, you really don't run into anything. And the third mile, though, up ahead, you see like a little cluster of trees. You're probably a mile away from your destination. You're
Mhm.
still kind of out of sight of it. But rising up out of that cluster of trees is this really strange sight. There's this flat, black colored, jagged, almost bat-like wing-looking something that rises up out of the ground. It looks metallic. It has flecks and scrapes over the surface of it. And it's twice as tall as the trees. It kind of comes up at an angle like this, and then it's all jagged and broken. And you can see pieces of metal kind of sticking out of openings in it and stuff like that. And it looks strange.
Like a flying ship, or like a large jagged metal projectile that was catapulted at us.
Like you have a pretty active imagination, Baron Fell, and you've read stories by fictionalists
Mhm.
about mechanical ships that could fly with wings that were mechanical, and it does look like some kind of manufactured mechanical wing, although it's very large.
And it seems to have spotted us, or it just happens to be taking off at this time?
It looks like whatever it was crashed into the ground a long time ago, and the only piece of it that's left is this one piece of fuselage or wing that's left sticking up out of the ground.
Oh, okay. It's not actually flying now. It's the wreckage of something.
Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah.
interesting.
Picture
Yeah,
like what was that movie? The
Or
Vietnam
wolves,
movie,
you know.
when
could be
when
either
they're
or.
walking through the jungles of Vietnam and they see the old flying, bomber, the piece of a bomber,
Heavy metal.
kind of like that.
All right. Excellent.
Well, Arnold's got a pretty high intelligence score. He thinks this is quite curious. Can you kind of like climb it or?
We'll approach it, I guess,
Yeah.
Okay.
cautiously. I'll have my
Alright.
crossbow at the ready, though.
Yes. I will have.
Do I have a crossbow? If I have a crossbow, I have it at the ready.
All my
I don't.
crossbow.
I have my dagger at the ready.
Arnold's got his crossbow. All right. So
Brother James will come out with his warhammer at the ready and also ready to run.
So Arnold, as you get closer to this thing, you can see that there's some what you recognize from your books and studying for the Pentagarchy as ancient elven runes, still barely visible across the surface of this object. And you're not sure if they're numbers or letters or what, but they're almost invisible now with age. It's just almost completely worn off.
And of course, the Pentagarchy frowns upon, elves in general due to their magic and
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
So I would not know very much at all about elven magic.
Right. So if this was something that belonged to the elves, if this was some building or vehicle of theirs that's now wrecked, it's probably more than 5,000 years old.
And I believe I read this somewhere, I'm not 100%, wasn't there once, weren't the elves once much more common?
Yeah, they had a huge empire. They
Yes, I thought so.
they had cities and a whole civilization.
So, yeah, I probably think this might have been a relic of that time.
Mhm.
If this metal hasn't rusted away, I would think that it might make some nice arrowheads if there were little bits of it flaking around. I don't know.
Or good armor. Let's try and collect some, my friends. I know Armagnac would be very interested. He's, as you know, has quite an interest in elven history.
Yes, well, so Arnold.
But let's be cautious. Something could be living in that, Arnold. I know as soon as you see treasure, your eyes get as large as saucers.
Brother James will point out, well, wasn't there that one time we saw an elven coin and it reacted to one of our friends who may have a little bit of elf in him? What if the rest of this is just around somewhere and boom, something?
You're sounding as ridiculous as Armagnac now. Come on.
Yeah, so I will collect a sizable portion, either both personally, but mainly because I want to show the Pentagarchy.
All right. So you guys start moving towards this
Yeah.
big bat-looking
Yes.
ruined piece of wing or whatever it is of something that crashed here thousands of years ago, and this piece that's left, and you're kind of creeping into the woods, and you guys see that there's an opening in the side of this, like it has supports and braces and stuff, so that it's whatever it was hollow sort of in the inside and had braces and supports inside, and spilling out of that interior is wads of grass all smushed together, and bark off of trees, and like something's nest.
A big something?
You're not sure.
I'll get off the
Pretty big
donkey now, because I can't fight on horseback yet.
Okay.
I'm going to, since runes are very delicate work and you can't really afford to mess them up in the slightest amount, I will take a small piece of charcoal or some other recording device, and I will kind of do rubbings of several of the pieces of runes on sheets of paper.
Okay, that means you're gonna. Okay, no problem. So you're just gonna kind of copy them on a piece of paper.
Yeah, I'll do rubbings.
You can do that.
Awesome.
Yes, Armagnac would like to see those, Arnold, if you don't mind.
Armagnac?
Yes, our friend back at the Black Pilgrim.
Oh, yes.
Who's this Armagnac guy you keep yakking about?
Herbacier?
Yes, Cavassier.
Oh, he's got
sorry.
two names.
He does.
Curvassier.
Okay.
Cavassier, yes.
Now I just want to make sure I understand. So Arnold, if you're drawing this, that's fine. But if you're actually going up next to the nest to put something on the side of the fuselage to do a rubbing, you're going to be walking right up to whatever that nest is and standing right next to it and rubbing on the side of its net of whatever it's nesting in. I just want you to know.
Does it look like the nest has something in it?
Well, hard to say. You
I
can't
could
see anything
sneak up
now.
there, Arnold. I'm pretty good at sneaking around the wilderness. I'll go take a peek for you.
I got 10 daggers.
Wait, the guy's a treasure hunter. Let the lad do it. He wants the robins.
I'm just saying I could give a little recon so you might know what's up there.
Why don't you, Badger?
You would have a much better eye for natural creatures that build such things as nests.
That's true. All right, Badger. You don't really have stealth, I don't think.
I do in the wilderness.
Okay, you want to roll your roll?
Yep. I got a 3 and 6 chance.
Awesome.
Cross your fingers, boys. Flip a coin.
All right.
I step on a very large branch. Crack.
All right.
If he dies, they claim his dwarven mugs.
So you're really quiet until you're right up at the mouth of the nest, and it's pretty dark inside of that wing or whatever, the interior of it. And the opening is, 6.5 feet wide. It's pretty substantial. There's this big old rent in the side of it. And you're kind of having a hard time seeing over the mound, although it does stink like an animal. And you do see some little tufts of feather, of all thing, like a white downy feather mixed into the nesting material.
Okay.
And then, tearing out at you with a round of surprise is a bugbear.
I'm only surprised on a 1.
Bugbear, no.
A bugbear surprise is on a 1 to 3.
Oh, man, but that's my specialty to only be surprised on a 1.
A bugbear or an owl
why
bear?
don't you roll your surprise, Badger? If you roll a 1, then you're surprised. But the bugbear does surprise the party.
Okay. 2.
All right, so you're not surprised. So you and I are going to roll initiative for this first round.
Oh, crap.
Bugbear or an owl bear?
This is an owlbear.
Oh,
That's
almighty.
worse.
That's much worse.
Lordy, it's an owl bear. Oh, shoot. All right. Oh, 2 again.
All right, I rolled 2. Tie goes to the party.
All right. So I see him, and he
No, I need
turned the rear up.
to prepare my
He's,
spell.
he's coming right for you.
Take it before the night.
Oh, shoot.
I will shoot.
Well, I pull out my short sword,
However, I do have to.
and I look him in the eye, and I say, I'm your huckleberry. And I stab him.
All right.
Ooh, a modified 7. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe I don't stab him.
Okay, you miss him.
You threaten him, though.
So you go, I'm your huckleberry, and he responds with, "Maw!"
Arnold!
We kill it.
Right.
He attacks the ranger 3 times.
Oh, shoot.
Oh God.
Hi.
I need that healing potion.
What's your armor class there, Badger?
3.
All right, I missed you with the 2, but I got you with the 20.
Oh,
No max damage though. It's just hits automatically. Monsters don't get the same kind of privileges that player characters get.
thank goodness.
And they shouldn't.
The bite is an 11. I think that misses.
Oh,
All right. Well, it doesn't really matter it does matter because all 3 attacks do a D8.
I can take 1.
All right, you take 3 points from a claw.
Ouch.
Ow.
Oh,
So-
man.
None of the rest of the party gets to act, but then it's the next combat round, and now we roll initiative for everybody.
Yay.
Let's have Sebastian roll. We'll just kind of go down around my order of cameras here.
All right.
The number of eyes on an average person's head.
4.
6.
Well, I rolled a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just going to start with Badger, and then Sebastian's on deck, and then Arnold and Baron Fell. We're just going to go through everybody.
Okay.
Try to skin this bear again. Oh, 9. Boy, he's got tough hide.
Yep. Doesn't look good. Sebastian, Brother James of the Everflames, what do you do?
Well, Brother James has to be close for his healing to work, but he's also got his Warhammer out. So he thinks he's going to try and use it, but if it doesn't work, he's pretty happy standing 10 feet away.
Okay, well, he's going to have to close to melee if he wants to
Yeah.
hit the owlbear.
Yeah, he will close to melee.
So let me guess, his scapegoat is he's going to get hit for any amount of damage, and he's going to play dead if he isn't actually dead.
So you do for a bear attack.
Brother James has a ton of hit points.
Yeah, he's a level 2 cleric.
Oh, yeah.
That would be 12, so 11.
Brother James misses. Arnold, it's your turn. What do you want to do there, buddy?
So Arnold, since 2 people are within melee and it's kind of a crude opening, Arnold will do his best to position himself to shoot the arrowbear, and he will load his crossbow, and he'll have his crossbow with the poisoned bolt.
Okay, so you can load the crossbow and poison the bolt. That's your action.
Got it.
But you're ready. Okay, Baron Fell.
Yes, I will throw a poisoned dagger at the little bugger,
Okay,
but it's just the my bleeding poison.
okay.
Well, we have 3 doses of distilled, and you have one of them.
This is my
Actually, we have 4 doses of distilled. You have one of them. Yes, but I can give you another one if you want. You also have a dose of the bleeding poison. So, but that's not for the crossbow. All right. So I roll a 14.
You hit.
Woo!
Well, no, I haven't one of them yet.
Yes, you do.
The
Because I
reason-
gave you one last time.
No, you used one of them on the children.
No, that was the bleeding poison.
No. Okay.
I think.
It'll
Or I
it'll
thought this was
be
because I gave you
okay.
one.
It'll be okay.
All right, then I'll give you one. All right. So
So I have 1 dose now.
yes, I'll mark it off. And I do an amazing. Well, he has to make his saving throw. Ed.
He failed his saving throw. I rolled a 9.
Woohoo! He takes 6 damage as
Oh,
poison seeps into his body and blood spurts in a catastrophically hilarious way. Psh, psh.
Dang, that owl there has high blood pressure.
That's right. I'm just letting it out a little bit
All
for his
right,
own good. A phlebotomy.
Old Man Witherspoon.
All right. I'll draw my big sword, the biggest sword I can have with one hand, and then I basically, hell, this is how I really retire. Then I run and hit him.
Okay.
I missed.
Oh.
3.
Agnar.
Agnar, come on, man.
Is there still room for me to run up and attack?
Sure.
All right, get out of the way, lad. Let me show you how it's done. Ooh. Yes, 21.
What did you get?
21.
There we go.
All right, max damage. 10 points of damage.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a mighty blow. You badly wound this thing. You get its attention.
Hey,
Come on, you furry little bugger.
All right, it attacks you. Let's see.
you asked for it.
I have a +4 on my attack roll. So my totals are 17 and a 11 for claws.
The 17 hit.
Okay. If I hit you with both claws, I get to follow up with a bear hug.
Oh, jeez.
I know.
Well, I skillfully avoided that.
yeah, luckily I'd be dead already, so it wouldn't matter really.
And then 12 plus 4 is 16 for the bite.
So the hit's armor class 3,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it got me.
So you get to subtract 1 point of damage from each of these because of your cool dwarven shield.
Yay!
First claw
Ah,
does 2 points of damage to you. -1 is 1 point. The bite does 6 points of damage to you. -1 is 5 points.
All right, -6. That's not good.
All right, it is initiative for the next round, and Arnold, you get to roll.
All right, Arnold, roll a d6.
4.
Nice.
I also rolled a 4, but a tie goes to the party.
Yeah.
All right, Arnold, you get to start us off this time. You want to shoot it with your crossbow?
What time is it?
It's 4:45. Yeah.
We'll go back up to Badger since they're busy.
All right, let's stab this thing. I know it can be hurt now. Oh man, not by me though.
All right. Let's see. Brother James.
Yeah, Brother James will. Actually, how badly hurt is our dwarven friend?
I'm all right. I still have 8 hit points. So
Okay, you're fine.
You want to try to hit it with your hammer? of doom?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and hit him with my warhammer. That's a 2.
Sorry. Baron Fell, what do you do?
I'll flip another dagger at this thing.
Okay.
Oh, I flipped my dagger right off the table. Hold
watch out, it's poisoned.
on. 13.
Let's see. That misses by 1.
Okay, excellent. Just like I planned it.
Old Man Witherspoon, what do you do?
All right, this time I'll hit him for sure. Come on, arm, don't fail me, because if you keep failing me, I wish I had my other arm. Nat 20!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, right.
That's awesome.
So
And your
that's
fighter,
2d8?
You get to roll your 2d8 plus your strength bonus.
Yeah. 2, 3. 11.
Woohoo!
Okay. How do you want to finish off the owlbear, Old Man Witherspoon?
Awesome.
What would be something comical to see a 70-year-old person do?
Get
All
crushed
right.
by an owlbear.
I'll probably just considering his physical capabilities, he'd probably just stab him in the head or something.
All right, but you remember you used to be a really tough warrior. You lost your arm in the mouth of a dragon, man.
Oh yeah.
You're an adventurer. You're just old.
I'm a retainer to adventurers, but same thing.
Yep. You stab it in the throat, and it falls at your feet and gurgles, and you have flashes and memories of when you back in the day, 20 years ago, before you retired, when you were 6th level.
Yeah.
Good job, old man.
Yeah. A single tear goes down my cheek, and in the tear you can see a reflection of me, but I'm buff.
Yep. So that was gnarly, man. That thing did a D8 with each claw. If it hit you with both claws, it bear hugged you for 2d8, and it could bite you for a d8.
I know, but our little golfer here was in trouble, so I had to help him out.
Hey guys, unfortunately, Dashel has to run. He had another thing that was set up that he didn't realize. So
Oh no.
we're on our own here. Are you kidding? I could never do justice to Arnold.
If you want
Arnold appears
to
in a magical.
run Arnold as your sidekick NPC, just kind of keep him safe,
Sure,
but have him available to shoot his poison crossbow. And
that's right. That's right. We'll have him at my side here.
go ahead and pick out another spell for him, because remember he wanted his hold portal, and then he has one other spell that he can have memorized.
Okay, I'm gonna pick out sleep.
Okay.
His actual useful spell.
Which by the way would not have done anything to the owlbear because it's a large creature.
Yeah, I figured as much, but I'm still hopeful we'll run into the half orc or the orcs at the cabin.
Okay.
All right, we search the nest for loot.
Yeah. Eggs. Those-
Yeah.
I like eggs Benedict.
I like eggs to raise as animals. We could ride owlbears into battle.
That's right. Wouldn't that be sweet? All right. So
I like omelets.
so you
I'm
do,
gonna,
you do not find any eggs in there.
That hurt.
Where'd my book go? Each of you, you'll find some treasure in there, but you'll also find some just random crap that this thing has kind of pulled into its nest.
Crap.
Yeah, I know. So,
My favorite.
Badger, go ahead and roll a percentile dice for me.
okay.
We should put this on our map so we can have our elven friend come check it out, see if anything happens, because elf stuff is weird.
It's true.
Amazingly, Badger, you find a dented shovel in there.
Ooh,
Oh, hey, we can shovel sand out more.
that's what I needed. I'm gonna take this dented shuffle.
Baron Fell, go ahead and roll percentile dice for me.
Percentile dice. That's my specialist kind of dice here. Look out, guys. This is going to be amazing. 67.
767. You find a dagger that's bent 90 degrees.
This is hard to do.
Stab the guy next to you.
Go ahead and roll, old man Witherspoon.
Left boot, left boot. 36.
36. You find a torn and empty pack. Go
I'll
ahead,
trade you.
go ahead, Sebastian.
60.
See. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
You find a pair of snakeskin boots.
Just
Nice.
what I wanted. I immediately take off my boots and put them on,
Yep. They're
right
pretty
on the
nice.
ground.
Yeah, they're pretty posh. They're like some nobleman's custom boots.
You,
That somehow
you, look,
fit you.
you look ridiculous, I say enviously.
Yeah, especially as he kind of looks like a friar.
All
got
right,
the haircut,
let's see.
brown
Admiral, go
ribbon.
ahead and roll percentile dice.
92.
92. Let's see. You find a suit of torn up and chewed through leather armor.
Half leather. I mean.
Half leather.
And scattered around in the nest, you find a couple of belt pouches and a belt that has a total of 240 gold pieces.
Woo!
We're just ravaging through a guy's clothing.
And your point is?
I think the rest of it is in that. I say, gesturing to the owl bear.
That's probably where he wound up.
Yep. Actually, I mean, I don't know. Is owlbear meat good eating? I mean, is it something we should skin? It would make a nice cloak, I think. This.
I think we could have eaten the meat before you poisoned it.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, it bled out. Don't worry.
Just put some garlic on it, it'll work.
Do you want
All
to
right,
try to do Badger? You know how to skin animals. Do you want to skin this owlbear for a future owlbear cloak?
Absolutely. If we get time, I'm happy to do that for you, Baron.
I'd
Maybe.
appreciate it. Thank you, Badger. I think it would go very nicely with my evening wear.
Maybe we could get a Iron Toe to make us some maybe owlbear hide armor.
Yeah.
That's true.
So Ed, when you look where the bear was, is it an expansion and does it keep going? Are there tunnels or is it just this one little pocket?
It's pretty good size. When you poke your head in there, even though it kind of stinks and stuff, the interior of this wing is basically, mostly empty space with these cross pieces and supports going all the way up through it.
It's
Gotcha.
interesting.
Do you have it flaked off that we could pick up any like shards of it?
Yeah, you want to try to gather some pieces of the metal?
Yeah,
Okay.
to use for maybe arrowheads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and we can ask Courvoisier what what this means. He might know more about it.
All right. Badger, go ahead and roll me 3d6. Anybody else trying to find pieces of appropriate metal for stuff?
Yeah, I'm trying to find some piece, preferably with some ruins or something on it to bring back to Cavassier.
Okay. Yeah, some of those cross pieces have broken off, and there's like little tiny elven ruins across some parts of it.
And you said 2d6?
3d6.
3d6. Okay. 5.
Okay.
You know, guys, there's a trash bin right behind the inn if you want to collect more garbage.
Hey, Badger, what did you roll?
12.
Okay. So you guys have each found that many pieces of adamantium steel.
Brother James will be looking for any souvenirs, like anything fancy you could put on a necklace, or maybe like a button decorator.
Okay. Roll a d20 for me underneath your intelligence or wisdom as you search. Your choice.
Intelligence, go for it.
Intelligence or what?
Wisdom.
I'm doing intelligence. Yeah, 4.
All right.
You got 1 point under.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll percentile dice for me.
Okay.
Hula girl.
That's right.
3.
Okay. Let's see.
You find the other owlbear
That we missed somehow.
that we somehow missed.
Same team, Baron. Same team.
Did I keep it?
All right. You find a small knife. It doesn't look like a weapon. It looks more like a utility knife or
A
something.
butter knife.
Like for no,
The letter opener.
something for a meal maybe. Like
Steak knife.
yeah, cutting your meat,
It's like Elven, though.
but it's elven.
So it must be good.
Which means it might turn into a sword if an elf has it.
Has some elven writing on it. Yeah. So you find a small elven knife.
Well, if we can... Well, this is a good souvenir, I say.
Yeah. Its
But-
blade's about this long. About what, 6 inches, 5-6 inches long.
If we sharpen it, we could have a good adamantine shiv.
Oh, it's sharp.
Oh. We got a good adamantine shiv.
Right.
Good
You should-
owlbear skinning knife.
Yeah,
Right.
we should see if like we can't have any other use for this. We should see if we can get some adamantine armor and weapons from Iron Toe. Yes, that's his name.
Well, I think
Well-
again, we should come back here and collect more. I think this is definitely a find, my friends. But let's continue to the cabin. I'm a little worried that the day is passing quickly.
All right.
So it takes Badger, while you guys are searching at everything, it takes Badger a good hour and a half to butcher this whole giant bear, find a place to store the meat where, you know, an animal maybe can't get to it. It ends up using one of your big, large sacks. And
On the donkey, maybe.
yeah, maybe he puts the fur, wraps it up real tight, and then puts it on the donkey for now.
Right.
And at any rate, so you're done with that. So it's you know, probably 3 in the afternoon by the time you start finishing your way over towards the cabin. Okay.
Okay.
So you walk another 2 miles and you can see this small lake up ahead of you. You know, it's maybe a quarter mile across. And then built on the side of the lake, you can see a log cabin. So it, you know, looks serviceable and in fairly okay shape, although the grass and weeds and stuff are all growing up around it like nobody's been there for a while. You don't see any smoke out of the chimney or anything. But as you move towards it, as you're going through the grass and the wildflowers and stuff, you see that there's some old stone foundations or flat areas of other buildings that used to be here. Like maybe back in the day there was some kind of a village here that's long gone. Is anybody doing anything while you're approaching this?
Well, like I said, we're going to hunker down and watch for a moment. Just see if there's any movement around the cabin before we continue forward.
And Agner's going to drink his half healing potion.
Everybody that is watching can make a D20 under either their wisdom or intelligence.
Same thing for me.
I'm doing wisdom this time.
I also try. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I made it.
I made it.
Not my day.
Harold made it by
I
8.
did not make it.
All right, so I'm assuming that you've kind of crouched and moved up quietly and low in the tall grass, and you're kind of hiding behind one of these stone foundations. And the edge of the lake and the cabin are like 50 yards away from you. You're still pretty far. There's this one lone pine tree growing out next to the cabin, and way up on the top of it is an owl.
At least it's not a bear.
You see.
But it's awake during the daytime.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Odd.
That could be a
Everyone
problem.
get down.
That could be a druid looking at us.
Could be.
Or it could be a wizard's familiar.
I shoot my crossbow at it.
All right. Roll the hit.
A little
shot.
warning next time.
Hey, I've got 5 wisdom, a little impatient. And we've been sitting around watching you play with a bear carcass for 3.5 hours.
Help.
15.
You hit it.
If it's an innocent
6 points of
bystander, I'm
damage.
fine.
Okay.
Ooh.
So you shoot this owl right square, and it just kind of falls dead weight out of the tree.
Yoo-hoo!
Yes. What do you do?
You're one crazy dwarf.
You
I'll
stand
go.
Yeah, well, that druid ain't seeing me now, is he?
do you stand up and cheer or something, or what do you do?
I let out a chair. I don't stand up.
You've never seen an owl before?
Not during the daytime, you crazy ranger. What kind of ranger are you? You don't even know anything about wildlife biology.
That was a nice shot, Agnar.
I'll ride the donkey over there and take a look at the owl.
That's right. You have a donkey. It's kind of hard to be stealthy when there's
He could be in his
donkey
natural
right
environment.
kind of moving along behind you.
Yeah.
But he looks like an owl bear because he's got this thing draped over him.
Great.
Yeah, I'll just go and take a look at the owl, not bear.
All right, for storytelling's sake, I'll say that Old Man Witherspoon was behind some larger bushes and stuff, and he kind of comes out. You know, he sort of looks like an old prospector anyway. He's kind of this old 70-year-old guy, and he comes behind with his
Except for the fact I'm in full plate mail armor.
"Come on, Titan," and his
But carry the shovel. You'll look very convincing.
and his armor's clanking and stuff like that. And you guys see a familiar half-orc step out of the cabin. And
Uh-huh.
I shoot him with my crossbow.
you're reloading your crossbow.
And I'm swearing that it's not happening faster.
All right.
I just say, hey.
And so off to your left, amidst some of these stone foundations, you hear a growling noise.
Uh-oh, that's not
To the
good.
left, and you see these 3 creatures. One is in the middle. He looks like he used to be a man. He's all emaciated. He has no visible eyes. Those are just gone. He has gray skin, and what's left of like a wizard's beard is sort of wispy coming into his face. And he's covered in plates of armor that have been bolted to his body. Okay.
Oh, crap.
And
Anyone remember those war ghast things?
Yes.
next to him are 2
Ghouls.
lean greyhound-looking humans that look half-starved, and they have mouths full of rows of teeth. And you recognize those immediately as ghouls.
Cleric.
Holy water! Turn
Holy water.
undead now!
All right, so we're gonna roll initiative.
Ah,
Oh Lord.
Did I roll?
Quick, cast old portal on him.
Wait, who's gonna roll for us?
Let's see.
Arnold, have Arnold roll.
Yeah.
Let's have Steve roll.
All right, the Baron will roll for us. A 2.
All right, I rolled a 6.
Pretty sure that's a tie.
I'm right out in the open with a scrumptious-looking donkey and
Yeah.
a bunch of meat in bags. So
You don't have to outrun them. You just have to outrun the donkey.
if you kick the donkey in the legs, it won't run.
Hey Ed,
Yeah.
do I know if ghouls or ghasts or whatever they are, they have poison?
They can paralyze you.
They paralyze you and then eat you at their leisure.
With poison, or they paralyze you with something else?
Magic.
With magic. Oh, well, that's disappointing. I think to myself.
This whole situation is disappointing.
Well, it's a good thing we got a man of the cloth with us.
Yeah.
You mean that one that's running down the street?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
So let's see. These things can move pretty quickly.
Well, so can we when we're so inspired.
Okay,
We got
the
50
gas-
yards.
The war gas can't move as quickly. It's sort of trailing the ghouls, but the ghouls take off literally like wolves running at you. They can move 60 feet a combat round.
Grapes.
Yep.
How
So
fast
there's
can
no
a
running
donkey
away from
move?
them.
They're coming from your left,
Holy water, here we come.
which means that they are going to tear into James and Old Man Witherspoon as soon as they get an attack. But they immediately cover the 60 feet to reach you with their initiative. So they're on you, just haven't had a chance to hit. And the gas is still 20 feet away, kind of following up in the rear. It's heavy armor that's bolted to it, and its age kind of slow it down. All right.
What about orc guy?
York is like 50 yards away. He's pretty far away.
Does he seem to be rushing to our aid?
He hasn't moved yet.
Help us and I'll give you lots of money. Money.
It's the party's action. Old Man Witherspoon, you've got a ghoul attacking you.
Oh boy, bring it on, pale boy or
I
woman.
crap
I don't
out monsters bigger than you.
know. Yeah, I lost my arm from a dragon. What's the worst you could do? Kill me? I've died twice. You think death can hold me down?
I
Look
find
at-
undead bigger than you in my stool. All right. Finish him.
What's your roll? Old Man Witherspoon, it's your attack. You got to roll to hit.
Oh, 17.
You hit.
Nice.
Max damage, so 9 damage.
Wow. Nice.
Whack.
You hit it, and it doesn't cut through it like it should.
I don't have a magic
Tough
weapon.
and sinewy and magical. You wound it, but not nearly as much as you'd hoped.
Does it make a sound like boing?
It makes a sound like you're driving your dagger into almost something that's like a mummified something. You know, it just kind of goes thuk. No blood or anything comes out of it.
Holy water, holy water, holy water.
Brother James, what do? You've got a ghoul in your face.
Turn him.
Turn
You
on.
gonna turn undead?
I'm gonna try and turn undead.
All right, well, let's see how that works.
Yeah. Hey, that's fun. Bust out some new rules.
It's just been a long time since I've done this. Cleric, turn undead. You're second level. So, what is it? You roll
D6.
a d6,
2d6.
2d6.
2d6, and you want to roll low, right?
No, you want to roll high.
You want to roll high? Oh, yeah, okay, now I see how the chart works. Yeah. So you want to roll high.
Do I get to add anything with my wisdom?
I don't think you usually do.
Okay, let's do this. Woo, 10.
You did it! Yes!
Yeah.
Oh my
Woo!
god. So all right. So the way the chart works is that when you roll higher than a 9, you will have successfully turned any
Ghouls.
creatures that are like 2+ hit dice worth of undead. Okay. So you successfully turned the 2 ghouls, but the Warghast is ignoring you.
That's fine. At least we only got one guy to fight.
Okay.
Can I pass out a holy water to someone who's good at throwing?
No,
I've
that's
been
your
throwing
full action.
daggers.
Okay.
Present your holy symbol, which is a Bic lighter, the Everflame.
Like hold
That's
it up
what I
like
have to
this
say
and do
about
this. Free bird.
And if that war gas blows it out, run.
Well, that was a good roll, Sebastian. Good job.
That was an awesome roll.
That saved the lives of a bunch of people, maybe.
We
Yeah.
may have a chance. And
Arnold's got a loaded and poisoned crossbow. Do you want him to fire?
yes,
Okay, so is he going to fire at the ghouls or at the ghast?
Wargast,
Okay.
since it's still coming.
Yep.
He rolls a 14.
It bounces off of one of the plates bolted into its body. It doesn't affect it. You
That's-
missed. You missed, but it was close.
Yes.
All right, now we've got Agnar.
So how far away is that war gas from us?
It's 20 feet away from Old Man Witherspoon, James, and Arnold. They're running at you from the left side of the party. It looks like they were down in maybe a basement that used to be underneath one of these buildings of this village, and were hanging out there under the control of the Druid until you shot his freaking owl.
Oh.
Whoops.
Hmm.
And
So
then he
the
was like,
ranges, do weapon ranges
And then he was
change
like-
outside?
screw those guys.
Do missile weapon ranges change outside? I'm trying to remember. Do they become yards rather than they're still feet?
You would ask.
I'm trying not to get too close to them, but
They do change to yards.
Yeah.
okay. So how many yards is that war gas from me?
Gosh, well, it's at short range
Okay.
for a crossbow.
No, I'm gonna throw a vial of holy water, so that's why I wanna.
Oh, for a vial of holy water? Let's see.
Yeah, so the range is 10, 30, 50.
Yeah, so
So I guess it's yards outside.
yeah, so it's still short range.
Okay, I'm hucking it.
Okay.
Oh, not 20. Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure holy water does 2d8 damage, I think.
I think it is 1d8. Yeah, it looks like it's 1d8.
Okay.
So I did
Dice.
4.
It does dice.
4 points of damage.
Okay, you hit it on the snout, and part of its nasty flesh burns away. You can see some bone underneath. It looks angry and hurt. You heard it.
So it has to make a morale check, right?
No, not yet.
More where that came
A
from.
little while, probably. Badger, what do you do?
I'm going to draw a silver-tipped arrow and launch it into this ghast.
Okay.
And I also roll a natural 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. We might kill a war ghast, or
And
he
I
might
do-
die.
No.
6 points of damage.
All right. That seems to all affect it normally. Like it's not reduced by anything. It sinks right into it. Hurts it bad. Seems to be steaming and bubbling inside of it.
All right.
Mental note to self: buy a silver dagger.
I should at least have a hunk of silver to beat something to death with. I mean,
That's
geez.
right.
Well, what do you do?
Well, I'm a bit a ways from this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think my daggers or my poison is going to have any effect on it, since it doesn't seem like it has a working circulatory system. Well, I guess there's no harm in throwing a dagger at it. I'm just trying to think if I have anything else clever I could do. I could throw
One of my
Get some
daggers, I
holy.
got
Get some of
10.
the holy water from the ranger. He's busy shooting arrows.
Well, I could frisk. Did I see where Brother James put his holy water? I'm a thief.
All he's got is he's got his backpack. You would assume it's there since it's not visible anywhere else on him.
All right, I'm going to try and pull a holy water vial out of his backpack. We're using my pickpocket skill.
All right.
That's awesome.
Let's see.
I got like 3 left in there.
I roll a 43.
Okay. So, Sebastian, what kind of equipment do you have in your backpack?
Well, Brother James has a few things. I've got I'm holding my holy symbol. Got 3 vials of holy water, 2 oil flasks, a tinder box, some torches, a week of food ration, a water skin, and a bit of gold.
You're kind of going by touch really quick, and what you pull out is an oil flask.
I
It
throw it
works.
I throw it at it.
All right. Roll a hit.
God bless it. I can't. Roll on the table, Steve. A 5. 7. So 7 is a thrown out.
Okay.
Short range.
Short range. You got an 8.
You got an 8. So it splashes, it breaks and splashes, covering part of the high grass and wildflowers and stuff kind of on that left side of the party with oil. But
Yep.
this thing is like a hound. It just kind of jives out of the way and you miss it.
It's okay. I'll just start rummaging through his bag again. I'll just throw everything in here at it. Food rations.
All right. So
Got a tinder
1,
box.
2, Old Man Witherspoon. 3, 4, Brother James. 5, 6, Arnold.
Bring it on! I shot your bird.
Going after Brother James.
Come on!
Brother James is the most physically threatening.
That's true.
He's the priest though that turned the two ghouls.
Wait, that's way too smart a move.
Yeah.
This thing's smart. They used to be wizards.
All right.
Mm.
So has a +3 to hit you. It lashes at you with its 2 claws first. Got a 20 and a 22 unnatural.
Oh,
You hear what sounds like a little girl screaming. You think it's a child, but you realize this is Brother James.
All right, Brother James, you take 6 damage,
Well, you're level 2.
and you have to make a saving throw versus P paralyzation.
Oh,
Come on. Make it.
yay! I made it. I'm assuming I
right.
have to make it under, right?
No, it's over.
Yep.
Over. I did not make it.
All right, so you are frozen. It rolls a unnatural 22 with its bite.
Holy cow.
unholy.
Bye, James.
You take 4 more points of damage,
Play dead.
and you have to make a saving throw against spell.
Oh.
There goes our one healing spell too, guys.
My spell save, I have to get above a 19. I did not roll that.
A 19.
You
No, not for
die, and you immediately raise as a ghoul.
Ah,
Heck?
So
Oh.
Brother James goes down. This gas gets on top of him, claws him, sinks its teeth into him. You see him kind of sigh and deflate, and then his eyes open up and his teeth elongate, and he jumps up, and you see his whole body contort into a ghoul. So, Sebastian, you are now a ghoul.
I sense a TKP here.
Yes.
Did Brother James have any last words?
Ah!
All right. So now it is initiative. Old Man Witherspoon.
5.
All right, I rolled a 5. Tie goes to the party. Badger, what do you
Yeah. I'm going to grapple the Wargast.
do? Okay, well, when it's your turn, you can go. I'm just going.
Dang.
Badger.
I yell out as I'm firing another silver arrow. Concentrate on that gas. He's leading them all. And
He's got my full focus, I promise.
Adjusted 18 for
You
3
hit.
points of damage.
How much?
3.
All right.
By the way, Brother James, if you can, he's still a ghoul,
What?
but he has his holy water on him. So
Just hit his
No.
backpack really hard.
All right, next is Baron Fell.
Well, I still have my hands in the backpack,
No.
but I had it. I was no. I can't affect these things. I can't. Is the backpack near me?
You can affect them, but your normal damage will do minimal damage to them, like 1 or 2 points.
Yeah, that doesn't seem very effective.
But that
How
Do you have any oil?
How badly was the gas affected?
He's got 2 silver arrows in him that are still kind of bubbling and steaming in his body, and he's got a portion of his stomach kind of dissolved by holy water.
All right. Well, let's see. And I'll back up behind Agnar
Okay.
as a defensive position, and I'll throw a dagger into the gas.
Okay.
For God's sake, Steve.
You can take the oil out of my backpack too.
14.
You miss.
Yay!
Misses by 1 and kind of clinks off of the helm that's bolted to his top of his head.
Excellent.
All right. Arnold. What would Arnold do?
Arnold will back up as well and reload his crossbow, I think. I don't think he has much else. He doesn't. I'm sure he doesn't think that his sleep will affect these things.
No.
So I think he'll back around. He doesn't have any holy water, I don't think.
What about like close portal on the mouth of one of them?
That's a great idea.
Like the
Actually,
war
he does have a bunch of oil. He had bought a bunch of flasks of oil, so who's going to back up and throw a flask of oil on one of them, on the gas?
War gas.
No,
Or gas.
he doesn't have any penalties for his low strength. He just rolls normal.
Okay, 11.
He misses it. It dances out of the way.
Yep.
All right, Agnar, what do you do?
Throw my other flask of holy water. I'm glad I bought 2. All right, war gas. See if I can get lucky again. I don't think I did. A 10.
Nope.
Dang, I rolled an 8 damage too.
All right, we got Agnar, Badger, Baron Fell, Old Man Witherspoon.
I look at the donkey. How fast can a donkey move?
Unless you're on the donkey, which means that you'd be on horse, there's no way you're going to stay on this. The donkey's running for it.
Oh. Return home, you scamp!
The smartest creature in the party.
Yes.
What do? Your friend, your Arnold has turned into a ghoul. He's standing right next to you, and then there's this wargast that's getting ready to go after Arnold or somebody else. Maybe.
Can I try and run through the wargast with my sword?
All right, go ahead and roll the
That's
hit.
right. He's,
See if we
15?
got the other 2 dwarves. They have magical weapons.
What did you hit?
15?
You hit.
Hey. 8 damage.
All right. Still doesn't seem to affect it completely, but the force of your blow, you can feel some of its ribs crack, and it sort of goes down on one haunch. It looks really pretty badly hurt.
Oh.
All right, that's the party. Brother James of the Everflame, you're a ghoul.
Yeah.
The people closest to you
Are you just as horrible as you were when you were living? Let's find out.
Old Man Witherspoon and Badger are closest to you. Oh, and Baron Fell, who just backed out away from you because he had his hand in your backpack.
Well,
You can roll a d6 if you want and random it.
yeah. Okay.
What'd you roll?
4, and it was going to be 1, 2 Badger, 3, 4 Baron, and 5, 6 Witherspoon.
Okay,
all right.
you go after the Baron.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, you can roll to hit. You don't have any. No, you have a +1 to hit. You do have a +1 to your attack roll, and you get to make 2 claw attacks.
All right.
This is the exact opposite of Brother James. 13.
I'm a 5 AC.
Okay.
That misses you.
Phew.
A 13 and a 17.
The 17,
Oh,
the 17 hit. You roll 1d4 for damage.
All right.
2.
Ow! Bloody.
And you have to make a save against paralysis.
I made it.
all right.
14.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Yes. Phew.
All right, and the ghast goes, let's see. It's going to go after Old Man Witherspoon. Sorry, Alex.
I'll kill this thing.
It leaps at you with its 2 claws. It gets a +3 to its attack roll. It rolled a 9 and a 7, so it misses you with its claws.
Yeah, nothing can kill Old Man Witherspoon. Even if it does, he'll come back and kill it back again.
He tries to bite you. And he rolled a 14, which
That misses.
and it misses you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Great mail. You're gonna love it.
it's
Yeah.
initiative. Let's see. Agnar, go ahead and roll.
Oh, sorry, me.
that Agnar.
5.
Okay, the party gets to go first. Agnar, what do you do?
I'm going to pull out one of my flasks of oil and throw it at this ghast.
Okay.
You're a fighter for crying out loud.
With
Fight.
no magical weapons. 15.
You just hit it.
Can I light him up?
Nope. You don't
Okay,
have,
next round.
nobody has a torch out,
Yep. Okay, it's fine.
but he's got oil all over him.
We'll let the Baron do that. Throw a torch at him. Light it first, though.
All right, Badger, what do you do?
Silver arrow. Okay, please, please, please.
Going at Brother James or the Warghast?
Oh, the Warghast. Yeah, adjusted 18 again for 5 damage.
All right, your silver arrow goes into its throat, and it just collapses like some kind of a dire wolf onto the ground, motionless.
Whew. That was close, boys.
We're still fighting a ghoul. It's still close.
And the other 2 could come back.
They'll be gone for a while.
Okay, Old Man Witherspoon. Poor Arnold. You're facing your Brother James. You're facing down Brother James of the Everflame.
You know,
You have heard Brother James say, if anything happens, like if I become an undead, or if I die and can't be revived, light them up.
all right.
I've got one more flask of oil.
I'm gonna do the same thing that I did to the Warghast. I'm gonna run him through with my sword and be like, I'm doing really good this game. So it seems like I'm like after killing the owlbear, I reminded myself of my youth. Oh, that won't hit. That's a 10.
Okay, so you miss him.
Mhm.
Badger's gone. Old Man Witherspoon is gone. Agnar's gone. Baron fell.
Well, this is reminding me not of my youth, but of my mortality. So I'll back away from the.
Take my last flask of oil.
I'll take your last. I have the Baron has a flask of oil, and
Okay.
again, we don't really have any way to light it, do we?
Well,
I have a tinderbox.
you can
In,
light a torch the next round.
In Brother James of the Everflame's backpack, he has a tinderbox and a flask of oil.
So if we light him on fire, the flask of oil will catch on fire, and then the holy water will also. The glass should break from the heat.
All right, I'm gonna back away from the melee and then throw one of my 2 flasks of oil at this at my friend.
Oh, at Brother James, okay.
Yep. 13.
You just hit him.
Woo, you're covered in oil. Woo, Brother James.
Yeah.
Slip and slide.
Greaser.
Okay, Arnold, what does Arnold do?
All we need is a kiddie pool and we have a party.
Arnold has reloaded his crossbow.
Light a torch, Arnold. Light a
Do you
torch.
want Arnold to shoot him with his crossbow?
He's gonna use his magic to light him on fire.
Sorry.
No. Yes, he'll shoot him with his crossbow.
Okay.
A 10.
Okay. He misses him.
He couldn't shoot his friend. Former
Okay, Brother
friend.
James. Let's see. You want to roll to see who you go after? Let me tell you. We'll call out the numbers here. 1 is Old Man Witherspoon. 2 is Agnar. 3 is Arnold. 4 is Badger, and 5 is Baron Fell. Just if you roll a 6, just re-roll it.
Okay. 3.
Arnold. Okay, so make 2 attack rolls on Arnold.
Okay. 12 and unnatural 20.
Okay, so Arnold is hit, I think, at least once. What's his armor class? It's not that good.
It's 10.
Yep.
He's a wizard.
Yep. So the ghoul kind of sidesteps and bobs and weaves amongst you over to where the lightly armored adventurer Arnold is and hits him twice. Go ahead and roll a d4 twice.
3 damage.
Okay. And Arnold has to make a saving throw versus paralyzation.
Twice?
Just once.
Oh.
What, does he get any bonuses to it for anything? For his cost? No, I guess not. Nope, he misses.
So
He's paralyzed.
Actually, it's probably going to save his
Brother
life.
James for his final moments.
All right. So let's have Baron Fell roll initiative for the party.
Come on, Baron.
1.
All right, I rolled a 5. There are now 4 people in the queue. 1 is Old Man Witherspoon, 2 is Agnar, 3 is Badger, and 4 is Baron Fell.
You just need to light him up, boys.
Wait. Who's rolling again?
You're rolling.
You roll a d4 to see who you go after.
1.
You go after Old Man Witherspoon.
Come on, your boss couldn't hit me.
So
You
roll
know
a
what I'm
d4,
not your old boss, your
roll
new
a
you know what
d4
I
twice,
mean.
And you add 1 to each attack roll.
I think the old boss is the same as the new boss.
15 and 15.
No.
Okay, so you just miss him.
I'm only playing characters with plate mail from now on.
Yeah, I don't even have a shield, so
True.
I can't have a shield.
But you could, you just couldn't attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be like the Cavalier from the Dungeons and Dragons animated TV show.
Oh yeah.
Baron Fell, the
Yes.
last thing you remember is that a crossbow bolt hits you in the side for 5 points of damage.
Oh man, a freaking orc.
All right.
And then the lights go out.
I hope it's just
Badger.
like sleepy time number
What do
2.
you do?
I have 2 vials of holy water, so I'm just going to. I just shot an arrow, so I have a free hand. I'm just going to reach in my pack and throw it at Preacher James of the Everflame.
No problem.
Sorry, my friend.
Sorry, Steve.
No, that's all right.
Only cleric.
It looks like a pretty even fight. Would he leave right away, or would he try to kill somebody? Probably kill somebody.
I didn't have
No.
any chance to see him sneaking up on us.
He wasn't sneaking up on you.
He
He
shot you from you across.
shot you with a crossbow at medium range and rolled a 16.
All right.
Well, I rolled a 15 adjusted, and you said it does D8?
Yep,
Yes.
you hit him.
8.
All right.
All right. You have 1 hit point left, Brother James.
I mean, I had 2 left right before I became a ghoul, so
Nah, you come back with the full boat for what a ghoul does in the game.
nice.
All right, so that's Old Man Witherspoon is gone, Badger's gone. Agnar, what do you do?
I'm lighting my torch, and then I'm lighting this guy up.
Okay, so you use your combat round to fish out your flint and steel, and you light a torch.
Correct. Unless I can shoot a spark right at him and light him up.
He's too mobile.
Okay.
Baron Fell is out of it completely. Let's see. It's initiative.
Oh,
Let's have Badger roll.
Come on, Badger. 666. Come on, laddie. You can do it.
Come on,
do
man.
it on me, boys. 3.
All right, I rolled a 6.
Oh.
Oh,
Roll a d6 for me. 1, 2, it's Old Man Witherspoon. 3, 4, it's Agnar. 5, 6, it is Badger. What do you roll, Sebastian? Roll a d6. See who you go after.
1.
You go after Old Man Witherspoon again. You just can't get enough.
Keep taunting him, old man Witherspoon.
That's right.
Oh.
Your face looked like it did before.
A 16 and a 6.
Only one of those hits.
You hit him once.
Okay.
You hit him once. Go ahead and roll a d4 damage.
3 damage.
All right, so you take 3 damage, Old Man Witherspoon.
Saving throw. Saving throw. You can
Now
do
you
it.
Make a saving throw against P for paralyzation.
For partying.
How much damage again?
3.
P.
Probably like 14 and higher.
Yeah. High or low?
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 14.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter.
You know, you made it. You just have to roll
Oh,
2 or higher than a 4.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Constitution.
All right, Old Man Witherspoon, it's your action.
my Constitution's 11.
It was good enough this time.
You can
Iron
attack
Toe
this,
would have been
ghoul
so
that's all in
useful
your
for
face.
this fight.
You
What?
You can attack the ghoul that's all in your face. It's your turn.
Yeah. 15.
You hit.
6 damage.
You kill it.
Yes.
I'll
Oh, I'm
behead
so
you.
sorry. That makes me sad.
I mean, there's no chance of reviving me.
So everybody grab someone and let's hightail it out of here.
Brother
I'm
James,
taking out that orc.
Brother James, now that you're not undead anymore, now if you were still undead, then yeah, the church couldn't revive you. So like, if your body, they find your body, but your spirit's been turned into a shadow, and you're still wandering the world as a shadow, you can't be resurrected. But in this world, if you know your corpse is back in the afterlife where it belongs, now that you're not undead anymore, they can still bring you back from the dead.
Wait, where's the donkey? Titan!
It's gone.
We have to catch him.
Gone. Arnold is paralyzed.
Where's the half orc?
You don't see him. Baron Fell is dead.
Yep.
Brother James is dead.
I'll fireman carry Baron Fell and beat feet.
I'll carry.
Wait a
Brother
second.
James.
Wait a second. Hold up, boys. Hold up. We got a crazy half orc out here running around with a crossbow. Don't anybody be moving too herky jerky before he picks us all off one by one.
Yeah, and there's 2 more ghouls that are going to come back in a little while.
They ran away. The gas was controlling them. They're gone. They ran away. We got a cabin right here. We're not going to make it back to civilization carrying all these dead bodies.
We can
Which
do it.
direction did the donkey go?
We just need to get to the donkey.
The donkey ran in the direction of the Giant Crown Inn.
Yeah, which is the way we want to go.
I say we hole up in this cabin and let these paralyzed people get there, come back.
Well, for all we know, he went back in the cabin.
Now you can go forward to the cabin, or if you retreat, you could retreat back to the owlbear lair in the wing.
All right, that sounds like a
It
plan.
only has one entrance.
And then we can at least wait for Arnold's paralysis to wear off.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And then we'll
one
go
person.
to the end.
And hopefully we can maybe capture the donkey. Who knows?
And get his sleep spell back.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's go. I'll
As
pick up.
far as modern medicine is concerned, death is not something that goes away over time.
No.
Yeah.
Not so much, James.
There's 3 of you. There's 3 bodies, one of which is just paralyzed, and you carry them back into the interior of the wing. And Arnold, after about, I don't know, he unparalyzes before you even reach the wing. He's okay.
Excellent.
So we'll keep an eye out for any possible sneaking half-orc.
You're pretty sure you're not being followed.
Good. But I'm twitching on the same.
You shot his damn owl.
And I do it again.
All right. So you go all the way back to the Giant Crown Inn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you come back into the Giant Crown Inn with wounds and hurt and stuff, and with
And dead.
two of your friends slung over your shoulders, dead.
Yeah,
And
Yeah, I feel like our undefeated season just got ended.
exactly.
the snow is like, oh my goodness.
Do you have any ice? We still got to go back up to the city.
That's right.
You poor adventurers.
Don't worry, we'll walk it off. Oh wait, I'm dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We'll decay it off.
Yeah, anyone want his boots? Kind of crazy.
Those are nice boots.
I think they was cursed. They brought him bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
So you load the two bodies onto the mule that you find.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, luckily we're slight men.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you start making your way back to town, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And at the bottom of the hill, the centaur meets you
Mm-hmm.
and says,
I
looks
should have
like,
went. No, never mind.
looks like you had a bad day, huh?
No, I've had worse.
Was that your idea of a joke, Missy?
Not really.
Arnold will warn her to be careful that there is a dangerous druid and half-orc who's pretty free with a crossbow roaming this area.
I know about the druid. Lily told me about that.
We also killed a wargast, I'm pretty sure, if you
Yes.
want to go deal with that.
But there are two other ghasts actually wandering. that were not-
Ghouls.
We didn't just two more ghouls that were wandering that weren't destroyed. So be cautious.
Says,
Did
well,
Lily tell you? Did Lily tell you where that druid usually hangs out?
he's been seen in the old woods, which spans from just beyond that woods you've been going to up towards the east. It's a pretty large forest. There's two human villages in that woods. There's a minor standing stone ruin just on the edge of it to the north, but then there's a major one way deep in the woods, several days north, almost all the way to the coast.
Okay.
She says, Queen Garrett, when she sent me here to deliver a message to Braden the Druid, said to avoid the old woods at all cost.
I think we just went straight into it.
Now you tell us.
Stupid Braden.
Well, we got to track that druid down eventually because he's got that scepter and we got to get it from him.
Well,
Yeah.
he's done a lot of terrible things, right? He was working with those, what were they called again? The
Turn those kids into fetch-making machines.
yes. He was, he's sowing mischief everywhere.
Yeah, he's stirring the pot all right. Well, let's get these boys back to the church.
All right. So you get back to town. Moonlit, the centaur, accompanies you to just out of eyeshot of the city wall and helps guard you, make sure that you're all right. And then pulls Badger aside for a minute
Mm-hmm.
as you're walking, and she kind of speaks to you quietly. And she says, did Lily give you something?
She did, and I'm trying to find a safe place for it, but I had an idea of maybe putting it somewhere where there's already evil so she could balance it out, but I don't want to put her in danger.
Well, just remember that it's magic, and wherever you put it, that's going to be her home.
Yeah, I'm trying to find somewhere nice and safe that she can enjoy.
But it would also be a part of a portal for you. So
Oh,
she has a few different trees in the area that she can move people to and move, herself to.
mhm.
Once you plant that home tree for her, then you'll know where it is, and you and your friends could use that as part of the network to travel around.
Well, thank you for sharing that with me.
So if you plant it next to the outhouse, I don't have to go outside in my skivvies.
Listen, Dwarf, this was a private conversation. Just keep your little bearded face over there in the corner where I left you.
All right. So you make it back inside the city, and the militiamen, Bill and Warren, come and help you guys get your friends to the temple, and they wring their hands and hold their hats in their hands, and they look sad. It's kind of a Disney moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cue music.
Well, they're fine. Worst thing that happens is that Brother James stays kind of like a ghoul, but that might be an improvement considering his usual performance.
And only the father, the priest in charge of the church here in Bulgrad is high enough level to cast the raise dead spell. You only do one a day. Tires him out. And any rate, he decides he's going to bring back Brother James of the Everflame first, because he's a church member and all that kind of stuff. It's going to cost your party 250 gold pieces. He's sort of cheap, and he's not going to even raise his own cleric for free.
How much you got, James?
Brother James, I think he has like, I don't know, 100 gold pieces.
Well,
I'll put 100 forward through that.
We just found 240 gold pieces when we
That's
were
right.
with the owlbears.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy
So-
to.
You want to spend
So we can use it 120 for each of them.
okay.
Mhm.
Except that what alignment is Baron Fell?
He's lawful.
No way, really?
No, he believes
The
in
most lawfulest thief you've ever did see.
He's not a thief. He's a noble. What are you guys talking about? He believes in everyone should to follow the orders that he gives. That's very lawful. He doesn't want people just running around doing whatever they want. That's ridiculous.
So you still have 260 gold you need to come up with as a group, or as individual characters.
I can put
Iron
in
Token
77.
probably pitch in about maybe let me do math.
Sebastian,
50 more.
you could spend 50 of your own gold, and that would mean that somebody would have to come up with 80 to pay off the rest of your res.
I can do 70.
Okay, so then that's 10 left.
How much can we get for those snakeskin boots?
Oh, you can get 10 gold for the snakeskin boots.
There we go.
Hey.
All right.
Did we get his other boots?
No,
They're not
unfortunately,
boots.
those are sitting in the high grass somewhere. So he's gonna have to borrow,
James the Barefoot.
he's gonna have to borrow some ill-fitting sandals from one of the other monks.
There we go.
All right, Brother James, you open your eyes. The last thing you remember is this horrible nightmare where you were trying to kill your friends. And but you wake up in the serenity of the Church of the Everflame, and the Father is
Hooray!
looking down at you. And
On the altar that's specifically for raising people from the dead.
I'm gonna look around, and I'm okay. I gotta think of something good to say. To say is, I'm gonna look at Baron Fell and say, "Did I kill him?"
No.
No, you're not that good still.
Darn. And then I'm going to get up.
the Father whacks you on the back of the head. Says, you have to practice their kindness. Go and say your vespers over there. 150 prayers to the Everflame.
I'll raise you 180. Do it.
Quiet, you.
Yes, thank you, Father, he says, and I go to do the thing.
Okay. All right, and then you guys gonna wait until Baron Fell's brought back from the dead?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
And,
Okay.
absolutely.
And heal up.
and heal up, yeah, because we need to be
Only when Brother James's feet hits the stone cold floor, he's like, "Oh, where'd my boots go?"
They had to help. We didn't have enough money, and we had to sell them to pay for the expenses. You're lucky we had enough money to not have to sell your shirt.
Huh. Okay, I'll accept that answer.
I say, stowing away my large sack of gold behind my back.
Well, all right. So early the next morning, you go back to church, and they've cleaned up the poor Baron Fell and removed the crossbow bolt, and dressed his wounds and kind of washed his clothes, so when he wakes up, he'll be looking okay.
Fresh as a daisy.
Yep. And so they bring you back from the dead. You open your eyes and let out a sigh of relief, and the last thing you remember is that pain in your side and looking down and seeing the crossbow bolt sticking out of your rib cage, and looking up and seeing the distant smirk of the crossbow of the half orc.
Yeah.
Gurak.
I'm gonna get Gorak. I thought we were friends. Now I see that I have a debt to pay him.
All right, so you're back from the dead. It was a close thing. It could have been a TPK, but you know what actually turned the tide was Brother James of the Everflame rolling so high on his turn undead.
It's true.
And us
Yeah.
having lots of holy water.
Yep.
Don't forget the holy water and Old Man Witherspoon's epic charge with his sword.
That's why those warghasts are so deadly. If they bite you and you fail your spell save, you die immediately and come immediately back as a ghoul.
Yeah, I don't like those.
Vicious.
I'm against them.
Yeah.
Baron Fell is anti-wargast, just so you know. I'm coming out
hippie.
strongly against them.
You hippie.
That's right.
But in the time between the two resurrections, Badger, you're waiting around in town. Everybody's kind of cleaned up.
Wonderful.
They're back at the inn, and you go out thinking that maybe you can have another conversation with the centaur.
Can Braden
And,
go with him?
Braden can go with him. Yeah.
Home-baked bread.
Ooh.
My wife and daughter have been starting a sourdough starter, and they've been practicing making bread. It's really good.
That's
Awesome.
So that's sour cream on it.
Mmm,
It looks good.
butter.
All right, so Braden and Badger go out outside of town to the woods and meet with Moonlit the centaur, kind of just as the sun's going down. And Braden, Moonlit kind of trots up to you and throws her arms around your shoulders and gives you a huge hug. Pats you on the shoulders and said, "A ragged cloak druid, bless you."
Thank you, madam. And I apologize that I haven't come out to meet you sooner. I was detained on other matters, but I'm glad that you're still here. And I hear you have important information for me regarding the old woods and that dagger.
Well, I have some good news, and I wanted to meet you, and I can tell you a few things. And she says, your friend Badger here and his companions were very brave, and they killed the only wargast in this territory.
Yay.
Thank goodness there's only one.
That's the only one that evil druid was able to find. Now there were several that served the Wraith Lord back when he marched in here with his legions. He had several of them. He used to hunt people with them. But over the centuries, they've been killed off one by one. And as far as the Dryads have eyes and ears everywhere. The Dryads tell me that that's the only one in for many miles.
Phew.
Well, that is indeed excellent news.
So you've done a great service. Now, if you can just hunt down those two ghouls, that'll be the end of it.
Do you know the name of the druid?
The druid,
Who is this foul creature?
his name is Rastafan.
Stefan.
He used to be one of the druids of the Henge that worshipped at their site in the old woods up by the coast.
Who escaped the king's wrath, I take it.
Right. He's one of 3 that escaped the king's wrath, but he's the only one that we know of in this area. But the Dryad's eyes really can't penetrate the old woods very far. The Druid has thrown a web of magic over it. It's made it difficult for us to spy him out.
Well, we fear that he is teamed up with 2 of our former allies, one of whom, unfortunately, had gloom.
Says that's horrible news. Well, they're probably going to travel to some place that's a stronghold for the Wraith Lord, which I would guess would be that major Standing Stone area. But I wouldn't go near there. Those places are haunted with shadows and all kinds of evil things, and the Wraith Lord himself can sometimes show there.
Can you also tell the Queen that, if just in case I hadn't included in my message, that we found that tomb underneath the Western Caverns where the Wraith Lord materialized?
Yeah. I would guess, I can tell you that there's probably more than one of those under there. I mean, that used to be his main stronghold, so I would imagine that there's more than one sanctuary dedicated to him in the caves underneath the city. I don't know how many of them the Druid has been able to get to, but I'd be cautious. If you find any other places like that, just know that, you know, if you're unlucky enough, you might attract his attention. He might manifest there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a maybe thing. It's not a for sure thing.
Sure.
You'd have to do
So-
something really stupid, like bring out one of his personal tokens, like that dagger, like right next to it.
We'd never do anything that stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it was the half-orc. He presented gloom, and I think that was what summoned him.
Yeah.
Probably. She nods.
We're smarter than that.
Well, I can tell by the look of your cloak that you've been doing some good deeds. You're right on track.
Thank you.
I would imagine that before long, you'll have done enough good services, and your cloak will look representative enough that the Druids will put you through your trials.
I'm looking forward to that.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that. We've seen how the cleric's trials have gone. Not well.
Do you know what kind of animal you feel an affinity with, Druid Braden? A bear or a stag or a raven or a beaver?
Probably not a beaver.
A duck or a goose.
Duck, yes.
Goose, those vicious monsters.
Personally, I was thinking the Wolverine.
Or a honey badger.
Yeah.
Ooh, a wolverine. Those are
We already got one badger.
those are fierce. Those are fierce beasts. Well, we'll see what happens.
I think a snake would suit him just fine.
I still like the war goose.
Yes.
You have
I'll
any-
go fly over them and poop all my way.
He says, well, I will stay close to the Giant Crown Inn and keep my eyes open for another week or two before I leave.
Well, thank you, mistress. And can you warn us if you have any sight of either the half-orc or his wizard ally?
Sure.
We have a debt to pay. Well, our nobleman has a debt to pay.
A very pointy debt.
A very poisonous, pointy debt.
Yes.
All right.
Is there any other tasks that the queen requires of me at this time?
Just either keep that dagger guarded or destroy it or
How
hide
could
it.
we destroy it?
Well, I don't know, but you could throw it off a cliff or
Mount Doom.
into a
Give it to a dragon. They
Where
won't
is
let
the
anyone
nearest
have it.
volcano?
somewhere where it can't be found. Surely underneath the city there. Well, that's where the evil things
Yeah.
go.
That's a terrible idea.
And that's where we found it. So
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, it's probably safest in the Black Pilgrim.
Probably. Well, good luck.
Well, thank you.
A pleasure. And thank you for the information about the acorn.
Oh, sure.
What acorn is that?
Just an acorn. Why are you so nosy?
I think you're confusing me with my dwarven friend.
You're all very not very private people, are you? Jeez, sometimes you gotta have a secret or two.
All right.
I
Spilling
have
them.
no interest in the acorn, just to be clear, Badger. Unless
So,
it's made of gold, and then I'd like to talk to you about it.
So you rest up. The nuns and the monks and clerics of the Church of the Everflame will attend to your various wounds. And so by the time Baron Fell opens his eyes on the altar inside of the church the next morning, you guys are all healed up.
We have a Lord of the Rings moment where he sees us in the doorway.
And they run in and they hug me. Ah!
Yeah.
Get off
My
me!
one
Get
arm.
off! Get off!
I
You've
dumped
been
dirt
dead
on you.
so long.
Going to kill that frickin' backwork.
Sounds
Who
like
asked
he
if that
killed
worked?
you, but okay.
All right. Well, anything that you want to do to wrap up? We only have a half an hour anyway.
I'm going to buy the best sword I can find and afford.
Okay. There's a dwarven smithy of all things across the street from the Free Merchants Guild.
Hmm.
Do you want to buy a sword of quality?
Silver, hopefully.
Well, he doesn't have silvered swords, but he does have a sword of quality, and that'll give you a +1 to damage with it.
Okay, I'll take that. How much is it?
It's 100 gold pieces.
Okay.
It's a really nice quality sword. Very difficult to break. You get a +1 bonus to damage with it. It's super sharp, dwarven made. He does say that he has some silver daggers, though.
I would like to purchase a couple of those.
Okay.
I'll trade in my 10 normal daggers for silver daggers and pay the increase.
The silver daggers are 10 gold each.
And normal daggers.
They're like a gold.
hmm,
He says, I have 6 of them.
I'll buy 2,
All right.
if that's all right with you.
Yeah, I guess I'll buy 4.
Mark off your gold.
And I commissioned him to try to make me some arrowheads out of this andamantite that we found.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to pay up front.
Yeah. He says,
Hey guys, oh, go ahead.
he says he can make those arrowheads for you, and by the next time we play, they'll be ready. And it'll be 2 gold each.
All right, so I'll give him the 50 gold up front.
Okay.
I guess the other thing I'd suggest we take that small elven knife and some of the elven symbols to Cavassier.
Okay.
I'm
Brother
better than 12.
is he's
Oh.
taken. He says, "I would like to keep the knife. It's a souvenir."
No, just to show him it, in case there's some properties that that you're not aware of.
Okay.
Mhm.
But I will know. Me and the Everflame have eyes everywhere, and then I'll disappear, but walk into a wall.
Okay.
So you're like, yeah.
But I thought you were going to come with us.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. Not the
See?
brightest person.
Hey, I don't think James is fully recovered.
No, he was.
Oh,
never,
he has. Oh, he has.
Oh, yes, this is normal.
This
Yeah.
is him. This is
This
him at
was-
his best.
He seems smarter, actually. So,
He did have that one drink before we started this also.
We'll find Cavassier and show him the pieces of metal, the symbols, and the knife, and see if he can make any heads or tails of it.
Okay. So Badger, before we get too far along, any of your adamantium arrowheads hit for +1 damage.
Okay. And there was actually only 12. There wasn't 25. It was 12. So
Okay.
thank you.
All right. So the elven off of the wing are like doesn't make a lot of sense to him, but he's like, yeah, this is like a sort of heraldry or a saying like you would have for a cavalry outfit.
Ah. Oh, and Kavasi, I've decided that the Elven accent is kind of a French accent, Ed. So you got to do it with the French accent. So.
Oh, this is the 25th Cavalry. I don't really understand. Oh,
She's crashing
It was-
burn.
no,
it
no,
was found-
no.
It was
Brother
found in a
James.
giant metal bat wing made of elf metal.
Yes, Kavasi. Stop. What about
Maybe-
this knife?
Oh, can I see it? All right, so now you have to role play your character.
All right. Ah, damn it.
All right,
All right.
Cavassier, you hold this knife and you feel a pull coming from it. And when your parents were alive,
Mhm.
they warned you that certain elven objects can draw power from an elf that holds them and then come back to life or work again. And it'll drain you of some of your magic for a while. Like you'll not be able to cast spells for a while.
Did I have any sense? Like
But it'll,
days?
if you let it happen, it'll recharge the battery of whatever is in this device.
Days, weeks, months? Would I have any sense of how long it would drain me?
Probably a month.
Do it.
Well, I'll tell Brother James that.
Do
I'll
it.
say you have found a very unique item, my friend. It is an elven artifact that that an elf can provide power to and bring it back to life to regain its former glory.
Oh, I was planning on putting a little hole through it and putting a little rope through it and wearing it.
I do not think that would be a good idea. I think it has more potential than that, my friend.
Sounds like it.
But as it stands, until somebody makes it power back up, it's just this like little utility knife.
I could do this for you, but it will cost me.
Like your soul?
Nah, it will drain me for many weeks.
So your soul will come back.
Sure.
You know, we at the Everflame can help with that.
I appreciate that. What is the relationship of the Everflame to the elves, Ed?
They're lawful, you know. They're a foreign church, though. They're from the Duchy of Rorgan, or from the south, and they more or less kind of come into areas where the Pentagarchy gains the foothold and brings the true religion of the South, which is the voice of the Everflame. Now the Everflame in the South has always been a force for good, as far as you can tell. I mean, the legends are that the voice speaks to the bishops out of the flame, the eternal flame in the cathedrals, and it's never steered a bishop wrong or the pontiff wrong. It's always given them originally instructions how to defeat the army of the Necrogarchy of Lang, and the instructions worked. So,
But they've never said kill all the elves or anything like that, as far as I know. There's
No.
never been animosity between the elves and the Everflame.
no, never. Although I would imagine that a lay priest would have sort of the commoner's view of what are elves. I've never met one. I've heard that they can be dangerous. They can vanish and they have magic and they're scary, kind of more legendary scary.
Brother James, with your permission, I would like to see what this item can do. If I bring it back to life.
Sounds fun. Brother James's knowledge on elves is that they're humans with pointy ears.
That's good. That's exactly right. Okay, please stand back. I do not know what the effect will be.
He will step back to the very corner of the room and shrink up against it. He's already died once yesterday.
All right. Cavassier will try to pass his magical energy into this knife.
Okay.
And see what happens.
So you see Cavassier kind of pale and sort of visibly suddenly look drained and tired. And the writing along the side of the blade ignites into light. And you see kind of a pulsing energy coming from the pommel. And you know that if you will it, whoever holds it wills it mentally to activate, that it'll activate the properties of this weapon. You want to test it out?
Sure.
All right. It's kind of like a dagger saber. Kind of goes, and it creates this glowing energy dagger, like almost like a lightsaber. And there's like this arc of plasma coming off of it. It looks really badass and dangerous.
Is
Like
there
you
something?
could cut your own arm off with it if you weren't careful.
Okay. I don't do that. Is there something
You
convenient?
do this.
I clean my teeth. Is there something convenient in the room, like a melon on the table I can cut in half from lunch, or a wooden mug?
Sure, there's mugs and plates and
Sure. I'll
Sure,
slash
next to you.
through the empty wooden mug that's sitting for my remains of my lunch, Cavassier's lunch.
yeah, you cut right through it.
Bloop.
Hey, try this dagger, says Old Man Witherspoon.
Try to cut through it.
Yeah, I'll just put it here or something. Stabs
Right.
onto table and walks away.
All right. I'll hit the dagger with it.
Okay, it kind of melts through it.
Imagine what that could do to a sword or armor.
In fact, it's almost like when you stick it into the metal, this is a little disturbing in that if you hit it just right, it's almost like the plasma off the blade captures onto the metal, and even when you pull the sword away, it just kind of disintegrates it and eats it away. So this is a dagger of disruption, like a mace of disruption.
Ah.
If you hit with a natural 20 with it, it will actually disintegrate up to a medium-sized creature. Kill it.
Ooh.
All right.
Dude.
I'll deactivate it
Okay.
and hand
Are we
it
going to
back.
give this to Brother James?
It has 10 charges.
Okay.
Has 10 charges, and each charge will last for 4 combat rounds. So you need to write
All right.
that down, Brother James.
Okay.
An elven dagger of disruption.
I'll write it down right next to his will.
Wait, he has a will?
Yeah, I wrote it when I was a ghoul.
Oh.
It acts like a +1 weapon, so you get +1 to hit with it, +1 damage. It'll hit creatures that require magic weapons to hit. But in a natural 20, it'll just kill stuff like a Vorpal weapon, except it disintegrates them.
Wow.
All right. Cavassier will hand it back and say, well, if you do not mind, I need some rest now, but be careful with that, my friend.
Yeah.
Hey, I have something that can help that. And I hold up a head of garlic.
So we have a few minutes left. So Cavassi, I'll lay a little bit of the lore on you just really briefly. Okay.
Yeah.
So the elves are said to have arrived here in silver ships.
Mhm.
Make of that what you will. And they
Yep.
built this grand civilization back when there were only dwarves and the small folk here. Back when they arrived, there were no trolls because Aglaika was one of their goddesses. She came here with them in the silver ship. So she hadn't been corrupted and made any of those creatures yet. There were no orcs. The goblins hadn't been created yet because they hadn't been cursed yet by Gloam. And no humans existed in this world. Now the elves had to these huge permanent like Stargate teleportation gates that they used to travel with commerce, not only between their cities, but they would open them up to other dimensions and other realms. And so they would trade across the dimensions and realms. I mean, we're talking super high, powerful magic. And they had a super advanced society with weapons and objects and things beyond the ken of anybody today. Long, long ago, one of the elves opened a portal to the wrong place. And through that portal came the old gods of chaos, Shub and several other ones. And with them came men who were their armies and orcs. So they were like the stormtrooper, crazy, bloodthirsty, chaos worshipping. They were creatures in another plane that the old gods had conquered and bent to their will. And there was this huge war. The elves eventually won at a great cost. And in winning, they drove the old gods into hiding. So most of them they killed, but one or two of them still survived, wounded, and now they're in the world, but they're hiding somewhere. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they broke the enslavement of men and of orcs. And orcs sort of retained their chaos worshipping ways and continued to be bestial in nature and that sort of thing. But men, once they were free, a lot of them turned away from the ways of chaos and became lawful and created the civilization. So that's what you know. So that blade probably came from the Great War against Chaos, as did whatever that vehicle was back when they were fighting these giant old ones and their legions.
Well, Kavase will share that history with his friends because he feels like it's important they know and also understand more about well, at least what the elven view of the history of the world is.
Okay.
Brother James will bring up, so what if we bring you back to that elven wing thing we found? Also, we got to collect my boots.
I would be happy to see it, actually. I still look for connections back to my people. I have connections back to my people.
Yeah. So your cousin is Queen Garrett half-elven, but you haven't actually talked to her in, quite a long time, at least decades.
Mm-hmm.
And other than her, you haven't talked to another elf in a really long time. You met that half-elf that is here in this tavern. One of the other characters plays a half-elf.
Yep.
But that's it. That's the only other obviously elven person that you've met. And, you're probably old, over 100 years old. Mm-hmm. And you haven't run into any other elves other than Queen Garrett in probably 75 years.
Mm-hmm. But there may be other artifacts like this blade that will be helpful to us.
Yeah.
It is my people had weapons worthy of defeating gods, and we may need them given where the world is headed. Particularly if the Wraith King returns.
Yeah, the dagger would be cool against all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
All right, well, any questions, anything else you want to do before we wrap this up?
Just maybe a quick trip to the leather armor and see if he can make us a suit of armor for Old Man Witherspoon out of this owlbear hide.
Oh, I have plate mail. I don't need leather armor.
Well, you killed it, though. It's your trophy.
Oh, a cool cloak.
Do you want an owlbear cloak?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, the buckle could be like its beak.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you get an owlbear cloak.
Mm-hmm. Neat.
Which gives you, what's your charisma again?
6. I'm 70, and I didn't age well.
When you're wearing your owlbear cloak, you have a +2 bonus to your charisma.
Nice.
But it only works for you.
Only you think you look good.
Yeah. Only you look as proud of yourself when you wear that. Your chest puffs out, and you look more confident when you're.
Yeah, my back straightens.
Yeah. You don't
Absolutely.
feel the pains of your arthritis as much as you usually do.
You can hide your missing arm, so it looks like you're like a hole.
Oh yeah.
Feel like you did 15 years ago when you were like 60.
I was 15 years ago. I was 55.
Right in your prime.
Yeah.
Braden's going to share with Cavassier that there's a young paladin who's been adventuring with us, and she also found an elven artifact, some sort of elven moonstone.
And it showed her that she had some elven blood running through her family, too. Might be a kin of yours. Way back.
I would like to meet her. I've been in my room doing some studying of this wand that the Baron gave me, trying to unlock its secrets.
Yes.
Well, that was a tough adventure, but I think you accomplished some good things despite your minor setbacks.
You mean
Such
dying?
as death.
Death is only a minor setback in Dungeons and Dragons.
Exactly.
We survived. That's a major victory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mostly survived.
Mostly, yeah.
That's right. So you guys end up earning not as much experience as you usually do when you go dungeon crawling and come back with, piles and piles of loot. But you did earn a fair chunk for killing that war ghast and doing other things, turning the ghouls. Like I gave you experience points for that. You got experience points for the gold and stuff that you brought back. So that ended up being 175 for each person.
Awesome.
All right.
Not huge, but it's a piece.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, how much experience?
A lot of good information.
Yep.
Absolutely. I'll take any adventure I can walk away from is a good adventure.
You didn't walk away from that one.
You were carried away from that
You're
one.
carried away.
Nobody asked you for your opinions.
My silence can be bought.
Hey, Alex, do you remember to write down the experience points that Old Man Witherspoon had that I told you last time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think. Oh no, run by me again. I might have gotten it wrong.
Well, tell me what you got, because I know it was over 1,000, but not that much over 1,000.
Mm-hmm. So how much did we get now? Because I already added it.
175.
35.
Uh, 1,205.
Yep. Yeah. That's all right. So 1,370 plus you get 18 more because you have your bonus for experience points that you get to tack on each time. So Alex, your total for Old Man Witherspoon is 1,388.
Ooh.
More than halfway
Right.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Neat.
God, it takes forever to go up as a fighter in this game.
Yeah.
Not as much as an elf.
True.
Yeah, Kavase will be first level when you guys are fifth.
All
All right, guys.
Any questions before we go?
No, that was fun. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you guys again. Thank you, Ed, for hosting again. That was awesome.
Death is just the beginning.
All right, you guys take it easy.
Stay
Take
safe.
care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Have a good
Bye.
one.
You guys.
Bye-bye.